Hey folks, Coach Simon here from Velo Performance. Now this week I'm going to do something slightly different. This week I'm going to talk about why I decided to get one of these. Let's get one thing absolutely clear. I'm not sponsored by these guys. I just decided to buy this because I did a bit of research on the internet and this is what came out as one of the better products that you can get in the UK. So why have I bought a backlight with a camera in it? Well, to be honest, for the most part, most of the people that ride around here are pretty self-aware and really respect the traffic. And for the most part too, a lot of the drivers here in Bideford and North Devon tend to be well behaved. But there are a few people still nowadays that either drive way too aggressively, way too close to you. And they're trying to make some daft point, which is, let's face it, if there's going to be an altercation between a car and a bike, the bike is always going to come off worst. As a cyclist, I think now we have our moment in time with technology that we can actually start to change the course of the way that drivers think by using one of these. For the most part, drivers think they can get away with behaving badly, and realistically, they can, because no one's going to chase them up on it. However, luckily enough, in Devon and Cornwall, they've now started this thing called Operation Snap, which basically means if you take video footage of dangerous driving and they deem it to be so, they will prosecute the driver and they will go after them. They're not messing around, which is pretty good news, because frankly this thing here could be the change that we all want to see as cyclists, and the fact that it's making drivers check themselves. If drivers knew that they were being filmed and that film could be sent to the police, and there from then that point onwards they could have a bang on the door or a letter through the post saying that they've got to turn up to court, or they're going to have 3 points on their license and a hefty fine, then potentially that's going to make them rethink their actions when driving their car when they meet cyclists. And that can only be a good thing. And I know what you're thinking, I bet he's not a driver. Well, you'd be wrong, because I do have my own car, and yes, I do pay my own car tax. So having an army of cyclists with one of these attached to the back of their bike could be the thing that we all need to do to see the change that we want to see. Now, this thing is not cheap, and if you look at the Garmin version, then it's more expensive. You're gonna need a mortgage to take that out. But is that a price worth paying? And I think it is, and I'll reiterate this one more time. If we as cyclists start to take control of the situation by having one of these on the bike and we're recording bad driving behaviour, then that's going to start changing the conversation between cyclists and drivers. It firmly puts us back in the driving seat, if you pardon the pun. Right, that's it for this week. I told you I was going to do something different. Now, look, last thing is, do me a little favour, will you? Just be really safe, good cyclists yourselves, because I think that's really important. If we want to see a change, then we need to change to be more mindful of road users too. If at points you need to pull over to allow long trains of cars behind you, do that and give them thumbs up. I do one thing I think's really worked, is when I'm riding on my own, I always put a thumb up if someone gives me a wide space, and I can almost guarantee that other drivers behind me will do the same thing because they've noticed that I care. And that's just such a cool intervention to put into. I've been doing it a lot over the last month or so, and it really works. Anyhow, look, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week. Cheers. Right, that's it for this week. Ooh.